We are vastly superior to humans. You know it to be true, so do not resist us. Coming to you live via tape-delayed basis by means of digital distribution. This is Extreme Hardcore Nerds. Here are your hosts.
Ready, set, game on.
And we are back, and it is that time where we talk games and we talk what our thoughts of certain games are. It is review time. And kicking us off this week, words I never thought I would say. We're reviewing a Wii game.
He's not.
And with that, we have a review of Zelda Skyward Sword. And for that, I turn it over to Garrett.
He doesn't sound as happy about that. Okay, Zelda Skyward Sword came out, I think, a week. Was it a week ago? No, a week, 2 weeks ago actually. Yeah. It came out on Sunday, so it came out actually 2 weeks ago. And the hype was, is this going to be the best Zelda ever? Well, it looks like it might be the best Zelda. The story takes place on a floating island called Skyloft, and of course you play as Link, and like right away it's a wing ceremony, which that's how Link becomes a knight. Well, you need a bird for this wing ceremony, and Link finds out that his bird is missing, but nobody knew that because you're supposed to jump out off a cliff. Shut up, Andy.
We can see you, remember?
and you're supposed to jump off a cliff, and your bird is supposed to come and save you and all, and that's how you become a knight. Well, Zelda
jumps off the cliff,
Link off, pushes Link off the cliff, and his bird isn't coming to save him. Well, then Zelda comes, jumps off, and saves him. And then Link wins his wing ceremony, and then apparently, right after the wing ceremony is done, a storm appears and takes Zelda away. And that's how the story comes. The interesting part is, on this Zelda game, Zelda is not a princess. So
there's a change. That is a change.
So it's not Princess Zelda.
My friend, like, what he said on the story so far, because he's played a lot more of it, he said the story is around an 8. It's not a huge. It's not like a 10, like an Ocarina of Time, let's say, but it's really good. It's really interacting. He also says the gameplay is a solid 9, and the reason why that is the sword movement, like on the Nintendo, the Wii nunchucks. If you swing up and down, the sword goes up and down. If you swing up, I mean like down to up, it goes down to up. Left to right, same thing. And when you do diagonal, it's a little bit more tricky when you do the diagonal one, but it helps. And the enemies are really, like, you need to switch up your sword movement on the enemies too.
Okay.
To kill them. Like on one of the bosses, like he has 2 swords. If he's holding the sword up vertical, you gotta hit him vertical. If he's holding him horizontal, you gotta hit him horizontal. And then later on, he'll do one horizontal, one vertical, where you can go diagonal. So the enemies do react of how you play the game. So it's really interesting on that.
All right, that's cool.
And the puzzles are a basic Zelda puzzle games, but they're really, really fun. And so he gave that a 9. The graphics, he gave a 10, relative to the Wii, though, he said.
All right.
Like,
so these are the best that it's been able to do?
Yeah.
Only took its entire life cycle.
The concept is between, like, a Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Okay, so shell shading and... I forget the art styles.
And the frame rate per second is really, really smooth, no lag, he doesn't feel any... It's very bright, very colorful, and like very colorful, the Wind Waker look, but the but the people are really realistic towards the Twilight Princess kind of look. So the graphics got a 10 relative to the Wii. The bad things, he said was the story starts out really, really slow, but it eases you in, and then it's perfectly fine. That's why I got a little bit lower score. You can play with the regular controller, but in all honesty, this is actually built for the Wii controller too. So that's maybe another bad thing that he didn't quite enjoy. The funniest part he said was, like, you know that you gotta like get these hearts and all that and everything, like, to collect some stuff. Well, he went into this place and there's this heart and something else that he needed to collect on top of the chandelier. Well, he was talking to the barmaid or whatever, and he said, or she said, don't touch that chandelier. But to get the stuff to collect it, you need to touch the chandelier. Well, he touched the chandelier and it broke, and everybody in the place or whatever literally like got in his face, started screaming and yelling at him, pushing him around, and just like really like they really reacted to what you do. So it was kind of hilarious, like, see like how the Wii actually revolves now, how everything is now reacting to. So it's actually quite interesting, and he thought that was probably one of the funniest things. And then that's how you also get a little bit more side quests, because he needed to repay the broken chandelier. One interesting thing though is when I said you need to collect certain items, I know that's in another Zelda game. I can't remember off my top of my head though. But when you collect certain items and bugs, let's say, like insects and all that, you can upgrade your weapons, your shields. You can also upgrade potions and all that. So it's very unique, because that's actually he says it's never happened before, but I believe it's in a Zelda game, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember too many Zelda games that actually had an upgrade system. Usually you just got a better shield. Yeah. It's more like you bought a new shield.
So there is an upgrade system on this, but you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to collect the things to beat the game. It's just an optional thing, something else to do. So he thought that was very unique of the game, very different, very fun also. And basically he said he's given the game an overall scoring of 8. Oh, not 8, it's 9, sorry.
Alright.
Just it seems smooth. It's one of those Zelda games that you need to pay attention to, because it is pretty good. And the time that it made to take the game actually made the game pretty good.
Alright. So, best Zelda game out of the bunch?
That's what he said.
Any thoughts on Bruce?
Myself, I've like I said, I only played 2-3 hours of the game. I still like Ocarina of Time, and then I didn't really like Twilight Princess though. No, honestly. But if I played more of Skyward Sword or whatever, if I'm like, I think that would be a pretty fun game.
Okay. So, worth it for its price.
Yes, that's what he said. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of side quests.
All right, that's what I've been hearing a lot from a lot of reviews. It's a game. It's definitely a Zelda for any fan to get. It's one of those you shouldn't miss. So it's good to see that they weren't wrong.
Okay.
All right.
So, next up on the docket, me.
That guy.
And WWE 12.
Let's all take naps.
As you can notice from the title, WWE 12 has left the SmackDown vs. Raw name far in the dust. This is supposed to be a new, fresh iteration into the WWE franchise, and they actually do a pretty decent job with that. The new Predator cycle that they put in, the motion capture and stuff that they put into it, feels very flawless. I mean, the moves actually feel like you're actually executing very well. Chain moves actually you don't see any breakups in the animations. It actually feels like you're watching wrestling, not like, oh hey, I got you in an arm bar. Wait, hold on. Let me drop your arm, roll over here, grab it again, twist this way. Now I have you in a hammerlock. Ha ha! You didn't see that coming, did you?
If only he said it that way. I would totally excuse it if it was just like that.
One nice thing that they did with this game is that they took it back to its roots. They simplified the moves and the strategies very much. Took it back to the old school N64 WWE WCW style of games, where you hit X and you do a grapple and you hit up, down, left, or right, and then that chooses what move you're doing. Very basic, very. They also they took away a lot of the meters and stuff on the screen, but it'll still flash if you're able to do a special or your signature moves, or if you're warmed up enough where you can hit your finishers. You still have 2 specials and 2 signatures and 2 finishers to choose from. So you've got lots of different variations there. One thing I do really like about this game is they brought in the limb-specific damage. So if my character is a guy who likes to work submission holds, I can target certain body parts and certain limbs that I can really emphasize on that. And also going along with the submission holds is that they changed it from where you just hold the right analog stick to it's now a button mashing game again. So I don't know if you're a fan of that or not. Me, I kind of am, because it adds a little bit more to it, not just hold the right stick and either I'll submit them or I won't. As far as the road to WrestleMania goes, you have 3 options. You play as a villain character. You play as Triple H, as Return of the King, and which I don't want to spoil what happens, but I could see what happens in the game happening in real life here very shortly. I'm just saying. And then you unlock the hero mode where you play as a character called Jacob Cass. Now, Jacob Cass, you can create him however you want, but his name will be Jacob Cass. You can't control that. Once you create him, you can control his finishers and stuff like that. But basically, you play as the winner of NXT. Their rookie show, whoever wins it wins a contract to the WWE. And then you start your career path on the road to WrestleMania. So I mean, the road to WrestleMania parts are really interactive. One thing I kind of didn't like about it is there's a lot of backstage fighting, and it just boils down to beating each other up a little bit until triangle or Y on 360 would pop up above their head. You hit the button and you get a cutscene. Fight's over. Same thing with in-ring competition is you don't actually wrestle the matches to win the matches in most cases. You just wrestle to wear down your opponent to a certain spot where you get that cutscene trigger, and then once you get it, hit your button and the cutscene will endure. So it feels more like you're watching a WWE show than you're actually playing the game. Like I said, I'm not too sure how I feel on that one. I feel like it kind of takes away from the experience and kind of draws you out of it.
Just reminding you, it's not real.
I know.
That's what it's always doing.
No, I'm not saying that, but it felt more of a, if I'm really, if I could really pin a guy right now, or if I could really work him over and do this or that. And it's like, I can't do that because I just have to keep working them until I get to one spot. And it's like, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I actually want to win the match. So it feels, like I said, it feels kind of a draw out from that. As far as the creation goes, everything is back from the last WWE game. I mean, you can create practically anything you want. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the wrestler customization is through the roof. They actually added in where you can create your own arena this time. So you can customize your own set arena, your own lighting, your own everything. You can you can create and customize your own entrance videos using highlights from your matches to create your own Titantron movie, which is really cool. They actually got the announcers a little bit better as like if I created Hulk Hogan, it's not going to say Hulk Hogan because obviously he's under contract with TNA, but I can actually set it up like with using a couple letters. It'll say, now entering the ring, oh, God, you know, so if you're really listening, it kind of sounds like it, but I mean, obviously for copyright issues and stuff like that, they just can't flat out come out and say it. As far as online goes, oh boy, the first couple weeks have been rough.
Broke doesn't mean even describe.
Yeah, lots of server issues. And just recently in the last couple days, THQ came out and added more servers to help with the experience. So the matches still run okay. However, for like me, who I'm not only going on there for that, but I'm also wanting to download like a lot of the created stuff, you know, like storylines and wrestlers and entrances and stuff like that. That part is still heavily broken. It takes a long time to get on, and you only get the top picks if you try to go to another page or if you try to go to anything else where it has to load again. Yeah, it's going to kick you off. So I got to knock it there for that. As far as, I mean, that pretty much wraps up. I mean, if you've played a WWE game before, you've played this. Especially if you, like I said, you've played the old N64 games, the AKI style games. You've played this. I mean, it's basically striking, grapple, taunting, and I can't remember what the other button does. Oh, your Irish whip, throwing guys into the corner. Mm-hmm. Controls are very, very basic again. Like I said, the feel actually watching it, or watching yourself play and stuff, it actually feels like you're in that WWE experience. Mm. Two gripes that I have about the game. One, obviously, was the online stuff. Two, with any wrestling game or any fighting game, it really boils down to how well can I chain my moves together and how responsive is the reversal process. Now, for me, at least as far as this one has gone so far, reversals kind of suck. It seems like all they do is reverse your holds, and it seems like every time I try and they throw a hold on me, I can sit here till next Tuesday tapping the reversal button, and I'm going to get my ass slammed. So it feels like it took a step backwards in that aspect as far as, I mean, and this is even on easy. It feels like it really took a step backwards as far as that aspect goes compared to last year's iteration, but it's still, it can be tweaked. It could be a lot better. Last but not least is the WWE Universe mode, where you play general manager and you control everything that goes on crazy in the WWE. They made this very open and very changeable. You can change the names of the shows, you can change the entrances, you can change the rosters, you can change everything. So if for example, if I download a bunch of TNA wrestlers, I can create one of my shows. I can make it TNA Impact Wrestling right there on a WWE game. They can't touch it. If I want to bring back ECW, I can bring back ECW in all of its insane glory. Mm. I have control over the pay-per-views every month, so if I want the Great American Bash instead of the Royal Rumble, I can make it the Great American Bash if I want, So there are a few options as far as that goes that really helps out. Last but not least, probably the biggest gripe from WWE 11 that anybody that I know saw, including myself, you couldn't defend your championships against whoever you wanted. You actually had to go into Universe mode, make this guy the #1 contender, and then he could challenge for the belt. It couldn't just be, I want Triple H to wrestle The Rock for the championship. Nope, I have to build one of them up to the championship mode, and I'd finally get the match. Couldn't change what the match was. The computer picked everything. So if it's like, no, I want this to be a ladder match, and I'm like, no, I want it to be a cage match. Nope, if I change it to a cage match, nope, no longer a title match. That has been fixed. You can defend any championship, and they brought a ton of them in for this one. I think they've got every belt ever under the WWE name available on here. They even brought back the Hulk Hogan exclusive World Heavyweight Championship.
God.
They got all the ECW titles, all the WCW titles, all the Cruiserweight titles, all the current WWE titles. They've got 4 different tag team titles. Yeah, so, and you can defend them at any time now. So they've definitely upped their game there. So they definitely fixed that. All in all, couple of the gripes as far as the reversals. I know that's a very hard thing to get a handle on. And I have to knock it for the online capabilities and stuff like that. All in all, I give WWE 12 a 9.
Nice.
It's a solid gameplay experience. If you love the WWE and you love that experience, you will love this game. Like I said, damn near everything is customizable. And then once they finally get the creation center and stuff back online and working properly, I think you're going to see a lot more out of it.
Okay.
But as far as the overall experience, it's a great game. Definitely recommend spending the $11 to get the fan access pass so you can get everything unlocked right away, all the legend wrestlers, all the titles, all the hidden stuff. And then they've got everybody from Shawn Michaels to Eddie Guerrero to the Road Warriors to Demolition to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock is a downloadable character. And of course, the only reason why I bought this edition, Brock Lesnar.
There we go.
So it's a solid 9. It's a solid experience. It takes you back to classic days of wrestling as far as the controls, and overall it is a great experience to play.
Okay. Good on you.
So, with all that having been said, that does bring our reviews to a close this week. That also brings this podcast to a close this week. Now, keep in mind, we are a couple weeks away from the ever-heralded Game of the Year show.
So many lists.
Where
we
will determine so many things. Best Xbox, best
Skyrim,
PlayStation,
Best
Game of the Year, which probably won't be that. So
won't be Duke Nukem. Wow! I guess you have to give up that belt if you want it to be the other one.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Unless you want to try and get the Duke, 'cause then that means the other one will fail, and so will Duke.
No, I can't give up the other one. I got
my
it.
goodness,
Yeah,
no.
that's right. Sacrifice that blonde.
I got to throw Duke under the bus for the
Yeah,
sake
that's right.
of, for the sake
Andy,
of
Andy, you'll be so happy on this, okay? Ponder just threw an interception at the 20-yard line. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the tie game.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
It's the Vikings. So, with all that having been said, and with the Game of the Year show just a couple weeks away for all of you getting ready and interested in why I'm the Yasser fan of Facebook right now, just because I said one thing.
Get your chips. This is going to be good.
I am your host, your all-knowing Exalted One himself, your King of Kings, Big Daddy Cool, Andy Kruger, along with
Your ever-present, ever-omnipotent, as well as watcher and keeper of this one, Dark Reaper Stephen Creighton.
and also with us this week.
Though.
That's right.
Geared 4.
And hopefully maybe next week, if we were able to get bail money, Gunner will be back. But we'll see what happens.
Nah.
So,
We got clones. We can take care of this.
peace, everyone.
See you later, folks.